hope they don't.
And not only that, the guy it's not like he's a playoff performer either. He has 6 points in 22 games in his playoff career. So there's nothing on the stat sheet that says, yeah, you know what, might be worth a flyer. There isn't really anything there. And you talked about it, like, he's not really much of a Craig Berube type guy. You know, he had a couple years ago, he had 136 hits, and that was the career. Like, all of a sudden he started hitting everything that moved, but like, there's nothing in what he has done that suggests to me that the Leafs need what he brings. You know, he's not really a center, although some places list him as a center. The guy barely takes faceoffs. Like, he does take faceoffs, but
yeah,
they're good at it.
Probably more of a winger at this point. The other thing too is, like, it's interesting the timing where they're not eligible to even sign with a team until did you look that up? Is it October 15th or is it November 15th?
So October 15th they're able to sign.
Right.
December 1st is when they're eligible to play again.
Right. Okay, so I was correct. So they can't even sign until October 15th. So the only other thing that I could have suggested was, all right, well, if you really want to see if he still, you know, has it and is worth putting on your team, okay, maybe as a PTO, but you can't even sign him to a PTO. Like, you can't even get him in preseason games and get a look that way, bring him into camp, see how he's meshing. You know, you can't sign him until October 15th. And at that point, the contract's guaranteed. So it just, there's a lot of question marks there. And I'm not sure the juice is worth the squeeze on this one. I'd stay pretty far away from Dylan Dubé or Michael McLeod. The only player who I think will probably get another opportunity, like hands down, is going to end up being Carter Hart. I don't think it'll be here in Toronto, but some team will definitely sign Carter Hart.
There's already been a lot of suggestions. We know.
Yeah, I know he'll end up somewhere. And you know, Darren Dreger is suggesting that teams are interested in bringing in Dylan Dubé and Michael McLeod as well. I just don't think the Maple Leafs are in a spot where A, they need to, or that, you know, they have to. So,
and I think Formanton's gone back to Switzerland, I believe. Like, I don't even think
he signed overseas. So I would imagine they gauged interest, and there's probably not a whole lot of interest out there for Formanton. So he was like, all right, I'll go overseas and resume my career. I'd be shocked if he ended up getting back into the NHL. Sounds like it's really just 3 of the 5 that have a chance to play again. Don't think Toronto's the spot for those guys to play. All right, coming up on the other side, there was a big contract extension that was signed. Does it have impact on Anthony Stolarz' future here in Toronto? We'll get into that and more next here in the Locked On Leafs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel. It lets me bet how I like to. I can bet on player props. I can bet SGPs, some live game action, or even bet on my futures that I like to bet on. It's quick. It's easy. It's the best way to add a little bit more energy to those Saturdays and Sundays. So, you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. The Locked On Leafs podcast continues. Mike DeStefano, Dave Morsuti with you, as we are each and every day on the Locked On Leafs podcast, Monday to Friday, back to 5 days a week now with the season getting underway. Training camp starts tomorrow, and then we got games this weekend. Sunday, they play the Ottawa Senators, and I think they play them again on Tuesday. So back-to-back against the Sens in the next week to start off training camp. Again, you can find the Locked On Leafs podcast wherever you get a podcast. You can also subscribe on YouTube as well to see the video format of this great show. So Dave, there's a contract extension that was signed yesterday that kind of blew me away in Chicago, and I guess I shouldn't really be all that surprised. Chicago's done a lot of weird things in over the last couple of years here, especially when it comes to some signings, some trades, and money and whatever. Spencer Knight, the goaltender that they traded for, is part of the Seth Jones deal, getting Spencer Knight from Florida. Very highly regarded prospect once upon a time, was a first-round pick as a goaltender. Gets an extension with the Chicago Blackhawks. 3-year extension, $5.83 million to be the goaltender of the future for the Chicago Blackhawks. What was your reaction when you saw that number come out?
A little surprised, just because I didn't even realize he needed a new deal. So that was my initial reaction. But the 3 years was like one that was interesting, because he didn't spend a lot of time with the team between now and the end of the season. I know that he showed some good things.
15 starts. He had 15 starts with the Blackhawks, and they said, bam, we know everything we need to know. Signing him up to a near $6 million contract.
I mean, if you're Spencer Knight, you're loving it for two reasons. One, you get a nice pay bump. You're getting, as you said, I think it's 5.83 per year, and you get another kick at the can at it when you're 28.
Yeah, when the cap explodes at that point.
Like, this works out perfectly for Spencer Knight for the Blackhawks. It's like, I get it. You're trying to build your team. You're trying to figure out where you want your future to be. I get all of that, but this is the type of deal that can, if not, like, there's now the pressure's on Knight to perform, and like, you look at the team, it's not very good. It's like, it doesn't align with what the Blackhawks like. I know the Blackhawks eventually want to take a step forward, but this ain't a team that's ready to really do it yet. They got a lot of young players that just haven't come into their own yet.
Yeah, but I mean, it aligns with like a timeline, right? Like, goaltenders usually take a little bit to grow into themselves, and we've seen a lot of these goalies, they don't take off until they're mid to late 20s. So at 24 years old, over the next couple of years, you'll find out over the course of this contract if he is the real deal. Now, paying someone nearly $6 million just to find out if they're the real deal is questionable. I would say I think that's an absolute overpayment for someone who's played 95 games at the NHL level with a 9